Hey hobbyists, how's it going today? Well, in this video we're going to do the WPL B16, the full metal conversion. So this is the original, all plastic gears, plastic housings, non-proportional steering. It's just the original guy, so we're going to upgrade him. As you can see, I did a little shocks, leaf springs, the full metal ones. But as you can tell, it still gets around good. I mean, for plastic and all, never really had much issues except for snapping one of the little pins on my axle, which you'll see there's a little zip tie that helps hold it on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Here it is, WPL B16 plastic. This was an RTR version. It was everything you can see here, from the non-proportional steering to the plastic steering links, the plastic housing. It's got the internal plastic gears, has this nice plastic gear shaft, has the older slower motor. I can't remember the number, but there's my nice zip tie. We're going to get into taking all this stuff out. It's got the old electronics and everything in it still. These were always nice. Helped out a ton. So we got to take it all apart. You got to take the cab and the bed off. Should be a couple screws on the bottom for the bed. And you have two on each side. One holds the gas can. One holds the cab mount. That's what it should look like after you take the bed and the cab off. So that you'll have your cab. Like I said, there's one in that, and it links up with the gas tank. So here's your original WPL ESC receiver combo, first generation, with the non-proportional steering. We're going to be taking that out and replacing it. Also taking that non-proportional steering servo out. So that's what it looks like once you take everything out. The electronics, the non-proportional, everything. And we'll replace it with the WPL 22 gram servo, plastic gears. It's not the metal internals, but it's nice still. And so what we have to do to get this to fit is you have to cut this tray. If you don't have a 3D printer, you got to cut the tray a bit to get this to fit in there correctly. So you'll see right here, you got to cut that hole a little bigger for the side of the servo mount. And then in the front where the old servo mount is, you need to widen it for space for it to use the servo correctly, to swing left and right so you have a good turn radius. Okay, and then down in here, when you're looking at your steering servo and you got your knuckle and everything in there, you want to make sure that in the front it holds two screws to hold your leaf spring in. You want to take your leaf spring and put it up to the top and only have one screw, because the second screw pokes out so much that your tires rub. Use a 30 amp ESC we're going to put in here. We're going to run it off of a old Fly Sky 3-channel receiver that I had sitting around, and an old Red Cat remote that I had sitting around from a couple older builds. Just going to use it because it has a nice steering turning points on it. It's a pretty good receiver and remote combo. So we'll get all that thrown in there. Once you get that, we also changed it to a 370 motor. We got the LiPo 2S battery that I changed. I kept the original connectors because it was just a little bit easier than changing them all out. I ran them to the new LED lights. They're the bright blues, so made sure you put your ESC underneath the tray because you can use them both still and everything fits nice. You'll have a little wire mess, but use some zip ties and it'll clean up pretty. So here it is all put back together, and the only thing we have left to do is a few little test runs. If you look at that servo and that steering linkage, I have it set a little different than what most people do. I don't use the toe in, toe out bar too much, and I like to put it on a little bit of an angle, and I use it backwards. I'll show a detailed video of that later. Here's it just messing around. Climb about anything really. This rock, it's pretty good, but and they're the stiff tires as well, so we don't have any of that really soft rubber. But thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. Hit that subscribe button, like the video. Thanks again.